Alright, hello everyone, I'm Ausyellow. Welcome to Formula Paw. I have adjusted my microphone setup ever so slightly. I honestly hope it is a little bit better. Actually, hang on, current testing. There's an adapter on the wire, and there's it's extended like pretty much level. It doesn't curve around. So that's just to that's just as a future reference, I guess. What is going on here is this is actually like the Formula 4 thing. It is starting. And this will be the full race, which I will post on the channel, and then I'm going to do a highlight thing. So for the first race of the season, Jake Villeneuve will be last and will be in Imola. And driver on pole, Willow Wolf. Right, okay, Danish driver. It is also going to be a full race. Let me actually look in here. Full race. Right in the middle of recording. Full race. Safety car is enabled. Virtual safety cars enabled. Yellow flags are enabled. And brother who does not know how to shut a door, still enabled. Penalties are also enabled as well. Random climate is what we're going to go for as well. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get started. All of this setup has been completed. I'm not even going to bother qualifying. So the reason why I'm going to make highlights is just to get to all the interesting things. Anyway, on the grid we have Willow Wolf, Klonigzard, followed by Roxy Tundra, Angel Frost for Renhout, Fernando Alonso also for Renhout, Tuxedo Noki, Lewis Ham, Macho Gato, Michael Shoesnacker, Hurtin Senna, Kitty Softpaws, Sebastian Vettel, Goldie Iris, Max Verstappen, Alan Prost, Phoebe Fittipaldi, Whisper Wolf, Sally Snowball, Bark Lauder, Nelson Pupkett, Nigel Barksall, Oliver Behrman, and Jake Villeneuve. Both at Tailwind Racing and Wolf Williams are at the very back of the grid. Now then, let's actually get this underway. I'll talk more about the stuff later on into the race once we've hit a situation where the chaos at the beginning sort of dies down and it is lights out and away we go for the first ever race in Formula 4. I do have all of that stuff set up, thank goodness. I thought I didn't for a second then. I'm actually going to keep a close eye up front. Willow Wolf appears to have lost the lead ever so slightly, but will have the inside line into the first few corners, fending off Roxy Tundra. Fernando Alonso, Sully Snowball, and Nelson Pupkett are the only three drivers in the entire grid to be on the hard tyres, which will last for ages. But I think that they might last a little too long, so that might be a little bit of a problem further down. Everyone else is on soft tyres. That right there is Max Verstappen sparring up against Goldie Iris, the Barclaren. Might have the inside line and the position. It is sort of difficult to determine who's where at the first few laps of the race. 5-second time penalty to Oliver Behrman. That's not really what Tailwind Racing wants. But on the plus side, though, Jake Villeneuve will be last in this race, and that is it. One of their drivers for Tailwind Racing will not be last anywhere else this season. So in case they need an awful lot of points in a race, they do have that stress-free. This is Max Verstappen. His teammate Sebastian Vettel is dead ahead. Here's Alain Prost right behind Fernando Alonso. Prost should have an easy overtake and tries the inside line into the next corner. Fernando Alonso is on hard tyres and has dropped from really high up in the grid. And yes, appears to have the inside line. And does he have the position? Yes, he does. Up into 12th. Willow Wolf with the fastest first sector currently. So yeah, it's sort of died down now, I guess. But I mean, this race is still incredibly live. There goes Kitty Softpaws at the inside of Bark Lauder. But Bark Lauder fights back, I think, on ERS. You'll be able to tell if they have ERS on because there's flashing lights on on parts. Actually, you won't be able to see the mouse, dang it. Roxy Tundra sets fastest second sector. The battle between the two up front is incredibly close. I'm actually glad I swapped over to their camera. 5-second time penalty for Jake Villeneuve, who is up into 14th from last. after causing a collision, it doesn't look like anyone was tragically affected by it. I have to drink an awful lot doing this. And there's the DRS wing open for Roxy Tundra, who sets fastest lap after overtaking Willow Wolf. That was DRS assisted, but the gap between Wolf and Frost does seem quite high, so Willow Wolf might have a chance to take back P1. Tundra had left Willow Wolf 1.5 seconds behind, so there might be a worry about being out of the DRS range. Tundra sets the fastest first sector. That might have been as a result of the DRS. Also, all the drivers have ERS, and once again you'll be able to tell because there's red lights on the back of the wings that start flashing. Not at the very bottom of the car, in between the two rear wheels. That is for something else, I think like rain and stuff. Here's Whisper Wolf, teammate to Willow Wolf, another Clawnik Zarg. Tried the inside line on Lewis Ham there. No, that was... Oh no, that was Fernando Alonso, idiot. They have the same helmet colour, that's the problem, and also their cars are very similar. Their numbers are also quite similar as well. Fernando Alonso is 14 and Lewis Ham is 44, representative of their real life numbers. Roxy Tundra sets the fastest lap and is really leaving Willow Wolf in the dust. Don't know what happened there. No one really knows what happened there. Here's Michael Shoesnacker. It says Michael Shoe Snack, that's because it couldn't fit all the letters on. Both the tailwind racers with 5-second time penalties, unfortunately. However, Villeneuve has seriously climbed from last place. There is actually a slight benefit to being in last place because of the way the car is set up. The setup is not 0-0-0. The setup is something else. It's what I determined for my fastest lap when I was playing through this game. Well, there's Max Verstappen fighting against Sebastian Vettel for the last point. We're trying to get into top 10. Max Verstappen sets the fastest first sector and has the overtake on two cars, Sebastian Vettel and Goldie Iris there. Here's Willow Wolf. Maybe within DRS zone. They might actually be trying to regenerate ERS. No, ERS doesn't seem to be deployed there. Anyway, what was I talking about? I can't remember. Max Verstappen sets the fastest lap. Points will be awarded for... Oh, actually, no, I was talking about the setup, wasn't I? Oh, Max Verstappen versus Ayrton Senna. Verstappen has the inside line and also has the inside line up into the hairpin, which is coming up next. That's like the biggest turning point there. Or like overtaking zone, but Ayrton Senna managed to stay ahead there, is what it seemed. You can see a massive difference with just general speed between soft tyres and hard tyres. I think Fernando Alonso was in like P4 at the beginning, is now in P17. A huge loss, but might gain it all back later on. Anyway, back to Jake Villeneuve. And the setup. When I played through this setup, I actually set fastest laps around all of the tracks. I wonder if any of them are going to be beaten. I will be a little bit surprised if they're beaten. And I set the setup that I had is what I give to the drivers. However, there is one exception to that. I noticed that if in some place like Monaco, I turn the wing setup, which is between grip and speed, I turn that to maximum grip, which slows the cars down and actually gives the in this case Jake Villeneuve, it would give that car a huge disadvantage. So instead of that, you round it to two numbers, which is -30 or -15, depending on which is closer. You work usually in fives. And that means that the wing setup will be tailored towards speed as opposed to grip, thus increasing the car's speed, hence why Jake Villeneuve is now in P13. Sally Snowball, P21 actually. During the pre-testing for all this stuff, it looks like it's going to rain. Oh, that's going to put huge problems on the hard-tyre drivers. And actually, this could turn into a really interesting race here. Yeah, when we were pre-testing all of this stuff, and actually when I was recording for the intro, because I did like 23 races, because I did Montreal twice, and we'll get onto why I did Montreal twice, or you probably could tell in the theme intro video thingy. I did all of them races, and I wasn't keeping score or anything like that, but the Racing Paws seemed like the fastest team out there, and I am very surprised that it's not that they're performing poorly, it's just that it seems like they're performing worse than they usually do, with Sally Snowball, who I actually thought would have probably won the season being in 21st. That's probably due to tyre only. And then Tuxedo Noki in P5. I mean, at this state, what are you going to do, really? There seems to be a bit of a battle, maybe, developing between Noki and Shoe Snacker. Actually, I can check on that. There's Tuxedo Noki. And actually having to defend against Lewis Ham. Oh, I haven't been too well recently. That is Angel Frost managing to try to overtake Willow Wolf. We'll have the inside line, and yes, Willow Wolf pole sitter has just lost 2 positions. Let me head into some driver information on my phone just to give the skill level. There we are, skill level. The skill level is for the current season and is obviously set to change in future seasons. Both of the Racing Paws have a skill level of 10. That's just how it happened. Willow Wolf should really do that. Willow Wolf has a skill level of 10 also. Whisper Wolf, however, has a skill level of 8. You're more likely to get a skill level of 10, but like the mean is that you'll get a skill level of 9. And looking at the data, that's probably what you'll get. No rain as of now. All of the drivers appear to be separating out a little bit more, which does mean that I can explain why I'm going to do this and also the highlights. Unless I'm explaining something really important in the highlights, that will probably be all of this sort of stuff would be cut out. But I mean, I'm talking right now, so it won't be. And it just gets into the core stuff of like driver overtakes. Angel Frost, actually top 3 are pretty close together. I think Angel Frost has inadvertently brought Willow Wolf closer to Tundra than Tundra would have wanted. Roxy, Tundra and Angel Frost, they are on Renhout and Wolfden Martin. I keep thinking that they're in the same team. Talking of teams, actually, Roxy Tundra his teammate is Phoebe Fittipaldi, currently in P14, and oh my goodness, Willow Wolf managed to overtake Angel Frost. Angel Frost's teammate is Fernando Alonso, who's in actually P20. Here's Willow Wolf, not deploying any energy, but has DRS, from driver in front, actually, Roxy Tundra. I should imagine Roxy Tundra is deploying... No, not deploying ERS. I can tell you how you see all of that stuff. There's Sebastian Vet, past Goldie Iris. That means double points for Pero Rojo. Unfortunately, not in the points would be Bar Claren right now. There's Jake Villeneuve up into P11. I'm actually going to cut over to maybe Jake Villeneuve. No, that's not Jake Villeneuve. This is Jake Villeneuve in a huge battle between Goldie Iris and Alain Prost. Iris tries to go for the outside line in this hairpin upcoming, and manages to actually get the move done. Jake Villeneuve's settings might have to really pull through there. That is Oliver Behrman fighting against Soft Paws and Willow. Not Willow, Whisper even. Whisper seems to have gotten away. There's Whisper. fighting for P14 against Phoebe Fittipaldi. Actually, let's have a little look up front. I knew it. Willow Wolf manages to go up the inside for P1. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of difficult to see some things like that. You sort of need to look at the times. Usually I'll spot it. The AI who's picking cars to look at in battles, and wow, great shot right there. Usually picks cars that are in close battles, have crashed out or something like that. But it doesn't prioritize the cars at the top of the pack. If one of them is going to overtake, sometimes it will just completely miss it, like when Willow overtook Frost. But Willow has gone from first to third, back up to first again. There, right there, on the back of Max Verstappen's car, you can still see it. It was blinking red on the arms of the DRS as he was trying to hold off the P8 from Purton Senna. That shows that he was using ERS. Clearly didn't pay out that well for him. The sky looks horrible, meaning that usually at around lap 20, the initial soft tyre racers would come in and go to something like mediums or hards. They might actually even stick on more softs. But what they do not want to do, obviously, is pit and then have it start raining and then need to pit again. You'll know when the... that's Lewis Ham fighting for P7 against Macho Gatto. Both the Ferraris are doing absolutely incredible. I'm not kidding. When we were pre-testing this, they sucked. But they're actually doing really good and having an epic opening race, I think. Double points currently for Ferraris and Pedro Rojo. That's it, really. This is good because like all of the teams get loads of points, and it sort of just makes it a little bit more interesting, you know. Speaking about drivers in points, Jake Villeneuve in P11, doing an incredibly good job. Here's Fernando Alonso battling against Sully Snowball. I kind of knew that that this might have happened. Sully Snowball is, I think, one incredible driver, and definitely showed as much right there. Sparring against Fernando Alonso, and trying to get a better position. You'll know when the soft tyres are not the tyres to go for, because the hard tyres will completely blitz the soft tyres. And like, it's not just because the hard tyres are warming up and getting better. No, the hard tyres are remain at a constant speed and only decrease. But the problem is they decrease much slower. I mean, I can probably draw some sort of graph on it actually, but I need data for that, and I shall be collecting data for that on here after a couple. Actually, I could just do a race and acquire information that way. It's probably going to be slightly different for different tracks depending on tyre wear, because there are a couple tracks that completely blitz the tyres, and there's a couple tracks that don't as much. This one here I don't think has that big of an effect on the tyres. That is Willow Wolf, who's up into P14 ahead of Oliver Behrman. Tracking this is actually like insane. I mean, if there was someone out there who makes like short videos of where the drivers started and where they were after each lap, feel free. This is mental. I mean, you wouldn't see this in F1, I don't think. Drivers just constantly shifting position, almost every single second. It's probably died down a little bit now, though, which is obviously something that you would expect. Top three gets a little bit shaken up. I haven't really seen a full-on battle that just lasts ages up at the top. But I think that that's sort of just by design or by concept. You cannot actually get something like that to happen. Who was that? That was Soft Paws ahead of Behrman by the chicane, not the chicane, the hairpin. Here's Max Verstappen against Purton Senna and Lewis Ham. Verstappen is the lead, Pedro Rojo currently. Ayrton Senna in DRS should have a clean overtake on Lewis Ham. Please, for the love of God, do not switch over to someone else, because this is actually like, well, this is a battle that's happening and you want to watch it. Here's actually Goldie Iris, so actually that's not a bad switch, because Ayrton Senna actually made the overtake, and then we switch over to another driver trying to make an overtake. Goldie Iris. Annoyingly, not feeling too well, evidently. And what's wrong with me? Well, my throat hurts, so that sucks. Even if it didn't, I'll still be drinking an absurd amount of water during one of these races, because when I talk, I get really dehydrated, unfortunately. That's why I have 9 litres of water next to me. I collected even 2 litre Dr. Pepper bottles. I drank the 2 litres of Dr. Pepper in them over the course of a couple of days, and then just reuse them as water bottles. And then when I get new Dr. Pepper bottles, swap them over. Recycling. Doing my bit for the environment. I sound like someone from Top Gear. I do not want... I mean, I like Top Gear. I don't want to ruin it, though, because it was a great legacy. That's all I want to say. Really could do with someone like Bold David God being here. We need to go up to the front. Tundra is applying loads of pressure to Willow Wolf currently. Regarding like driver numbers, I don't really know the numbers that well. I mean, I can tell you Tundra is 99, Willow is 77, Whisper is 27. Yeah, there's also obviously a couple of others. I saw a glimpse of it there. Barksall's 5, which makes sense. And like some of the numbers, I did ask ChatGPT, what did this? Because if it isn't obvious, Lewis Ham, who is this driver right here, Lewis Ham is based off of Lewis Hamilton in real life, and his driver number is 44. And his driver number in here is also 44. So like for overlaps, because I think it was Jacques Villeneuve, Sebastian Vettel, and no, it's not Nelson Piquet, it's Nigel Mansell, that's it, that's his real name. They all had the driver number of 5, so what I did was I rolled, span a wheel to decide which one was best. That doesn't look too good. That doesn't look too good up there. It looks like Roxy Tundra had some sort of incident and lost an awful lot of ground to Willow Wolf. Jake Villeneuve fighting for points, starting last, overtaking his teammate, and is in the points only just in the points, trying to take Pedro Rojo away from double points currently. Jake Villeneuve will have a huge battle on his hands. Fortunately for Jake Villeneuve, all of the drivers are essentially equal, right? Equal car power, equal in this case tyre level, maybe not tyre condition, because he's gone from last to 11th, which is absolutely impressive. But the one thing that Jake Villeneuve has at his advantage is the differential setup. Is that the... No, I'm thinking of something in calculus now. Here's Max Verstappen at the inside of Lewis Ham. Verstappen will have the outside line on the exit of the chicane. Why did you switch over? This is a good battle we want to be watching. Lewis Ham has the inside of the next hairpin, and you make an overtake. You need to think several corners in advance where you're going to come out on top. Here's Sebastian Vettel having a try, and I think as a result of Ayrton Senna, Lewis Ham might have lost that position. He might have actually lost another one, as long as he can fend off Max Verstappen. That's it. I forgot his name for a second then. And then right up the inside goes Max Verstappen. Definitely had a better line there. Some of the drivers are a little bit slow. I think that they have too much grip, which is, I mean, it allows them to do their sort of awkward racing lines a little bit here and there, but that can be extraordinarily advantageous in, for example, Mexico City. I suck at Mexico City. The AI is incredible there. But obviously they do come with their downsides. They are AI, of course. They cannot properly, perfectly simulate human beings, and obviously are not the best drivers in the world, even though half of them are trying to imitate the best drivers in the world. I just want to say instantly, any of the drivers that are being imitated here are not actually controlled by the real life drivers. I obviously kind of want to avoid any driver politics initially, about like what one driver thinks of another. You know, if we could get the drivers voice acted, that would be quite cool. Like one of them crashes and then has a huge rant, or like tries to make an overtake on someone else and has another rant. And team radio, we can also have team principals as well. I mean, that would be pretty cool. Wishful thinking, that's what you want. Jake Villeneuve, with the inside line into the chicane, obviously didn't pay off. Might have the inside line into the two 90-degree corners at the very end. That must be Lewis Ham with ERS there, because that seemed like a really high rate of acceleration to happen normally. Lap number 20 is what we're on now. Sebastian Vettel has the inside line, but Max Verstappen has ERS. They are so similar. It is actually a little bit annoying that I put them in the same team. And just in case I haven't mentioned this already, each of the drivers will stay on Formula 4 indefinitely. What happened? What happened? Wait a minute. Oh my goodness, Jake Villeneuve managed to get past Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Ham. He must have done some sort of like ERS plus DRS on the main straight, because that is absolutely incredible, and I can't believe I missed it. That's unfortunate. For goodness sake, what was I talking about again? This is ridiculous. Yeah. Max Verstappen knows that he is under threat, and tries, or is at least trying to get past Ayrton Senna, because of the driver behind Max Verstappen, Jake Villeneuve. Jake Villeneuve will certainly get past in due time. Now, each driver will remain on Formula 4 indefinitely, right? One of these drivers cannot crash and die and burn, or get too tired they want to leave or something like that, or just, you know, become so hated that they are forced to leave F1 under their own decision. No, if they get so hated it's unreal, I can remove them from Formula 4, if that is what's wanted. But they will stay in Formula 4 for infinite seasons, as long as, well, until they win 10 Drivers' Champion seasons, right? Yes. Which means that initially, before any of these drivers get removed, we will have a minimum of 10 seasons. Maximum of, what, 109 or 110 or something like that? No, actually, no, maximum is going to be quite huge. Maximum is 22 multiplied by 9 plus 1. If you're watching the highlights, I'll throw that up on the screen. I might actually cut that out of the full version. Inside line has Alain Prost. Alain Prost was actually originally Italian, until I watched a Formula 1 video or something like that and found out he was French. I then asked ChatGPT and they said, yeah, he's French. Oh, and in the pits we have Ayrton Senna, Willow Wolf I think was in the pits, Michael Schumacher as well, Nigel Barksdale comes into the pits, and who is that? Tuxedo Noki as well. Noki is also in the pits. Currently with a net race lead on medium tyres. Willow Wolf. Right behind Willow Wolf is Sally Snowball. There is tyre temperature, which is like a pretty easy concept, but the AIs really struggle with it because on some particular tracks they struggle to heat up the tyres, and it is a little bit unfortunate. Other times, especially when we're dealing with intermediate tyres, they heat it up absolutely insanely quickly. It is unreal. And they just absolutely end up destroying me. That is Fernando Alonso and the hard tyres absolutely destroying, or at least trying to destroy very slowly, McLaren. And that is a clear indication that the soft tyres have passed their sell-by date, and the hard tyres are kicking in, but the medium tyres now will be all-powerful. There's Matrogato in the pit. Usually about 20 seconds is the pit window. The Matrogato Whisper Wolf as well. I'm trying to think pit window. Willow Wolf is currently 14 seconds behind Roxy Tundra. If Tundra were to pit now, theoretically, Tundra will be around Snacker, Tuxedo Noki, somewhere around there. Oh my goodness, Nigel Barksall pit? No, Nelson Puckett is the one with the hard tyres. Right, okay. That is Willow Wolf sparring against Fernando Alonso. Willow Wolf will have better and faster tyres currently, but that probably will not last for long. You want to keep the pressure down and keep the steam going, because if you are held up at all and the current 10-second time gap between Willow Wolf and Tundra increases ever so slightly, you will lose your edge massively. Willow Wolf absolutely destroying Alonso, Goldie Iris, and now tries to go around the outside of Kitty Softpaws. I'm actually going to go on to the driver's onside. That indicates ERS. The red button on the right hand side is ERS. Now the red button on the left hand side is DRS. Just in case, like, we're on driver's perspective and you want to know something like that. I do also know where all the buttons and stuff are. Who is that just came out the pit? Angel Frost. Look at that position. Angel Frost is so far behind. It's unreal, and was second place actually against Roxy Tundra, and is now roughly 20 seconds behind, give or take. Like, rule of thumb is 20 seconds. Fernando Alonso has Sally Snowball to spar against. This is the problem with the instant hard tyre strategy, and actually maybe even the instant medium tyre strategy. It just like really sort of throws off the race, because the hard tyres will eventually start dying, and are actually even now less powerful than the medium tyres. I'm not 100% sure roughly where either of them are going to come out, or like how the tyres match or work. Willow Wolf chasing after Alan Prost. We're actually going to go full screen on this one. Who's that just went in the pit? That looked like Sebastian Vettel, and you should really slipstream here. Alan Prost probably had ERS initially. Willow Wolf up the inside line, up into P6 currently. I'm surprised Willow Wolf does not have fastest lap, probably because of the medium tyres, to be honest. Fastest lap set by Max Verstappen in the early days on soft tyres. I will obviously be noting down fastest lap as well. Fastest lap gets a point. Pole position or pole sitter gets a point. Oh, 5-second time penalty given to Nigel Barksall. Certainly not what. Wait, for what? For causing a collision? He's in last place. What? Oh, I didn't see Sebastian Vettel there. I was. How in the name of all that's holy did he do that? Well, there was another driver there. That makes sense. Michael Schumacher against that is Sally Snowball, and has the inside line on Goldie Iris. McLaren probably not going to end up in the points on this debut race, but what is more important, I think, is who's going to win the debut race. Well, what was that up front? That was probably seen things or something. Willow Wolf ahead of Lewis Ham. Positions after positions. There is no way Tundra will be able to fight back cleanly. Obviously, we'll have to pit and all of that stuff. And even then, that does get very messy. So, as of right now, it is not in Tundra's way. 2-second gap to Tundra is Willow Wolf. That is absolutely incredible. Barksall is in the pits, what, for the second time? There must have been some sort of collision issue. There was also damage stuff as well. If you lose one of the front wings, it's not really much of a problem. If you lose the rear wing or both the front wings, big problem. If the main chassis is super damaged, you lose ERS, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it is quite a fun strategy, because even when you pit, and like pitting doesn't increase any time if you have damage. When you pit, oh my goodness, Jake Villeneuve, P3 on the podium, and Willow Wolf manages to regain P1 because Roxy Tundra is in the pits. An absolutely incredible performance from Willow Wolf and Jake Villeneuve, who started last and doesn't have the net race lead, but is in second place currently. He needs to pit on the right time to keep the strategy going, because this is an absolutely astounding job. Soft Paws is in the pits. Oliver Behrman is also in the pits as well, I think. Agua. Here's Jake Villeneuve having to fend off against former rival earlier on in the race, Max Verstappen. The two are on very old soft tyres, probably will not last that long. Where is Tundra? Tundra is P18, 17 seconds behind Willow Wolf, and now has an insane amount of traffic. And actually, drivers that were behind Tundra, such as Shoe Snacker, Gator, Noki, Frost, and Senna, as well as Whisper as well. All of them drivers have pitted and are on the medium tyres. Yes, you have fresher tyres, but that gives you a slight edge, and you have an awful lot of traffic to go through. Here is Angel Frost, who was fighting for the top 3 as well. Also has an awful lot of traffic to go through. Granted, the hard tyre drivers will probably be less of a threat now, but there is still a lot of medium tyre drivers out there. Fede Fittipaldi, P7 currently, also still out on softs. You really do not want to be out on softs for this long. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I struggled to stay out on softs initially. I find myself pitting around lap 10 because driving sort of just becomes unbearable with them horrible tyres. Now, to be honest, it would have been better if we had bold David Gods here, but unfortunately he's not. And actually, let me give you a little bit of a story while we're watching this, like one of them TikTok things with parkour running in the background, but running in the background is an race. So the reason why I'm starting it today, actually, you'll be able to see the system clock in the full version, which I'm pretty much going to upload raw. I'm going to upload raw footage of the of this race. I'll crop it and all that stuff and obviously cut out bits that I don't want in the video for the highlights and stuff. And by that I mean I'll literally just crop the edges just to make it look neater. The reason why I'm starting today was because I was waiting on a delivery for new microphones. It's probably this microphone. I really like this microphone. It's a headset that it sort of like squeezes your temples together and then has a microphone attachment off of it. It doesn't actually function as a headset because you can't listen to music through it, which sort of confused me at the start, but it makes total sense now. It's literally just a microphone. Perfectly fine with that, actually. I obviously got a couple more and a couple of things to test because I did not want to record this race. And speaking of recording, let me just pause this real quick. Are we? Okay, we're recording. Good. That is a lot of data already. That's a lot of data already, and we're just about the halfway mark. So what? 2 gigabytes of footage? Jesus. But like hopefully editing and compression into the highlight stuff should be alright. I'm not going to save these to a external hard drive. Jake Villeneuve, Max Verstappen, Lewis Ham, Phoebe Fittipaldi in the pits currently. I'm not going to save this to an external hard drive. Oh, Goldie Iris is in the pits as well. Just because I think because there's so many races, it's going to just take up too much data. and storage, so I'm not going to do it that way. Bark Louder is on soft tyres. I think Bark Louder started with... Bark Louder cannot be... No, hang on. His head's in the way. Tyre degradation 38%. Yeah, he's on the soft tyres he started with. Not the best start, not the best idea. If you want to know where I read that from, it's something on the steering wheel that I might explain in due time. So I'm starting it today a little bit later than I wanted to because I had to do microphone tests. It's probably not the best quality in the world, but it was the best I can do for now. I do plan to change the microphone stuff in the future, but also it's because when I was recording the explanation video for Bandicam on Bandicam, my standing mic kept disconnecting and it was really annoying me. I had like 70 different files. That was Sebastian Vettel overtaking Nelson Piquet to try and get into the points. Speaking of in the points, Whisper Wolf has the inside line and gets the position off of Sally Snowball, has Roxy Tundra ahead. Double points currently for Klornigzarg and Ferrari, P1 and 2. Absolutely incredible. Oh, there's Bark Louder with the totally not AI looking pit crew. There's Frost, Noki, Senna. Yeah. Oh, actually, both the Racing Paws are in the points, but that might not last too long because Snowball. Yeah, see, Snowball just got overtaken by Sebastian Vettel. Obviously, it didn't cut to that for some reason. It just wanted to show whatever else it wanted on. Yeah, so Bold David God is not here. No idea why. That's all I can say. Bark Louder is finally pitted. That was the driver who I was talking about the pit crew of. Each pit stop is roughly the same amount of time. The only time you're going to get slowed down is if there's traffic in the pit lane. But then again, what are you going to do? Bold David God is not here. Not too sure why. Oh, Whisper Wolf. Up into P8, has clear inside line and easy move right there. Ahead of Fernando Alonso. I'm not too sure why Bold David God is not here. He and I were building something for the parkour map. We built a structure, and then I started putting parkour in it. What else did I start doing? I started putting parkour in it. I then started building another structure, and I'm sort of stuck because I'm not too sure how to continue developing the structure. He has not been on since I started building the parkour in that stuff. I've just had to throw that out. So, yeah, I mean, I haven't heard from him for a while. But actually, I say that he did give me a voice note the other day saying, yes, I can play much later. And then much later, he said, oh, wait a minute, no, I can't play. I can probably play tomorrow, but I've got a lot of stuff going on. I've got like the gym and all that stuff. Yeah, so he's not here. I would have loved him here actually as well because I showed him this racing stuff initially. He really liked it. Is that on? Oh, that's on as well. It shows there. I have to manually turn my trackpad off each time. Currently one hell of a good racing performance from Jake Villeneuve. Currently in P13, has the 3 hard tyre drivers to get past, which should be pretty quick, but the gap between the next medium tyres will be quite far away. Jake Villeneuve is really far out. I think he left it a little bit too long for pitting. Pitted sort of at a similar time to Max Verstappen, who's currently in P15 behind Soft Paws. So their strategies clearly did not work out as intended. Yeah, one thing I didn't consider about drinking an awful lot of water. Anyway. Right, what's secured in? 5-second time penalties for Villeneuve, Behrman and Iris. Not 100% sure what they're for though, but it did say for collisions, I think, for all of them. If there's an infringement on track limits and corner cutting, obviously it would say that. you get 3 warnings for track limits, and then the 4th is a 5-second time penalty. Then the 5th would be the first warning, 6th is the second, 3rd is the third warning, 7th is the third warning, and then 8th is another 5-second time penalty, and so on and so forth. That's for track limits, which is a little bit weird in this game. Corner cutting is also a little bit weird as well. I mean, if you just drove straight over the new Volt chicane, that would be classified as a corner cut here, but for some reason the AIs in one of the starting chicanes, they can just sort of glide over without really classifying that as a corner cut. And with corner cuts, you get 1 penalty technically for a corner cut, and then if you cut a corner again, it's a 5-second time penalty. You cut another corner again, it's a warning. That's what I meant to say. And then cut the corner for the 4th time, it's another 5-second time penalty. That's just something I wanted to explain instantly. And we are well over the halfway mark. Willow Wolf has a huge gap right now. Phoebe Fittipaldi, driver number 55 on your screen right now, set fastest second sector. I think that's another thing that they pay attention to. Yeah, this was actually a battle I wanted to look into. I saw it on the mini-map. Noki, Tundra, and that's its center is quite far back. Where is... Oh, actually, hang on. Frost. Angel Frost up into P4. Because top 3 were Willow, Tundra. Oh my goodness, Tundra's done incredible. I'm surprised there. The top 3 were Tundra, Frost, and Willow. Willow pitted first, followed by Frost and Tundra, and it clearly shows. And Tundra is making progress right now, which might be a little bit threatening to Willow Wolf. But assuming that they finish the race on medium tyres, which I'm pretty sure is possible, the only way that the order can be changed dramatically is if someone were to come along with something like a different tyre, for example. Tundra, with the inside line, up into P5th, ahead of Tuxedo Noki. Yes, lots of points for Wifton Martin. Obviously, one of the drivers is not in the points currently, Phoebe Fittipaldi. Team who would like to get back into the points, Max Verstappen. Well, actually, it's technically a double points for them because Verstappen has fastest lap. Another thing, if, for example, drivers in P10 and below were out, or like crashed out or DNF'd or something like that, and if there was 9 drivers remaining or 9 drivers still racing, we're not going to close down the race because they're not humans. Right? AIs can continue crashing. They're not really burning any money when they crash. Yeah. So if there were 9 drivers left because the other because the other 13 somehow crashed, then the driver who crashed last, or the driver who will be in 10th place, but still out of the race, will still get the points, even though they DNF'd. So, I mean, you can DNF, wind up in 5th place, or be the... hang on, I don't want to make an error by 1. If you're the 17th driver to DNF, you will still get the number of points you will get if you finish the race in P4. It looks like it's going to start raining in a moment. Willow Wolf still holding on to a steady lead. Schusnacker and Gatto also holding on to their positions tightly. Angel Frost and Roxy Tundra might have a battle between the two of them. Old Titans in this race actually fighting with each other once again. Will they be able to get past the Ferraris in the remaining laps? Who knows? I mean, this is this version of the game is set for 20. It says it's 2024. It looks exactly the same as 2023. Not gonna lie. I mean, 2022 to 2023, that showed a difference. or in like the map qualities and stuff like that. But then again, they have Jake Villeneuve. Jake Villeneuve is in the points. The driver who started last is currently in the points, but that 5-second time penalty will take him straight out the points. But as of now, not so. Regardless, Jake Villeneuve, keep pushing on. So, what was I talking about? I have Alzheimer's. No, I don't. I cannot remember what I was talking about. That is ridiculous. Might as well just go back to commentating. Max Verstappen failed to get past Sully Snowball initially. Tried to go for the inside line there, but Snowball managed to cover it off. What the hell was I talking about? I was talking about DNFs and points. Yes, it is technically double points for Perro Rojo, even though Verstappen is in P13. Yeah, that's just because he has fastest lap, so there is something to keep that in mind. The highest number of points you can actually get is 27. You need pole position, fastest lap, and obviously to win the race. Point system will match F1 currently, so 20, 25, 18, 15, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 1. Points awarded to the top 10 and top 10 only, obviously unless you get fastest lap or pole sitter. Oliver Bearman, not the best race for Oliver Bearman, nor is it the best race for Wolf Williams. Wolf Williams had absolutely dismal performances when I was recording the thumbnail. No, it was the theme things. One thing that I was wondering, or like if they're going to develop on in this game, is the ability to pause and rewind so we can rewatch crashes in slow-mo or something like that. And I don't know if they're going to look into something like that. I mean, that would be quite cool, but you know, I mean, wishful thinking once again. Lap number 40. Actually, it's a bit dumb, isn't it? From that's on my part. Never mind. Jake Villeneuve sort of closing in on Sebastian Vettel for more points and also insurance that a 5-second time penalty will not bite him and somehow grant Kitty Softpaws points as a result. Mercedes Petronas not having the best races. Actually, this is outrageous. Hang on, I'll be right back. I'm going to pause it and probably cut some of the raw files, which is something I really do not want to do. But alright, okay, that was just me being incroyable stupid. Racing Ruin, Imola. Emily Romano as well, that's another name for it. Right, so essentially, I haven't gone for a wee all day. I don't know why. I might have done in the morning, but might have done in the morning. Yeah. Had a day at college, which lasts like 6 hours. Came back, went out for a bit, and then drank like nearly a litre of water in the past 41 laps, which is insane. What I should have done is I should have just paused the recording. I'm an idiot. Obviously, next time I start one of these things again, I will pay much better attention to my own hydration. Another thing is I might have positioned the mic a little bit wrong, so if my audio is a little bit awkward, it's my bad. Now then, back to the race. Stupid voice crack. Once this is done, I'm probably going to continue developing on the parkour map because I've got nothing better to do waiting for Brandon to show up so he can help me sort some things out. It's just sort of like an artiste choice. There is Jake Villeneuve ahead of Whisper Wolf. I mean, I know I said I wanted the Koenigsegg's to do really good, or I was sort of voting for the Koenigsegg's. This just sort of happened. I was very surprised to see Willow Wolf in P1. Chances are, I don't think that they're going to win the overall season. I mean, like, looking at it, the probability of a team that you pick winning initially seems like 1/11. But that might change further on. But for now, Kornigzargs seem to be... Actually, no, Ferrari, because of their P2 and 3, I think will actually outscore Kornigzargs on points. And actually, funny it says that, it jumps right over to Ferrari. I really hope that my AI is not listening to what I'm saying. Kornigzarg. Go over to the Kornigzargs. Look at Whisper. Nope. Nope. It just heads to Pert and Senna. That's a Lotus Whisker. That is not the Kornigzarg. It doesn't matter. Actually, it is Mercedes Portrainus. Nope. Instead it heads to Barclown. Yeah, to be honest, topic on AI right now. Not the biggest fan of AI. But why am I hosting a racing series based on AI drivers? Well, right, although I completely dislike AI replacing our generation for content, it is still funny watching AI race, especially when we get to a particular race being Montreal, because the races there are absolutely brilliant, and I am so glad Montreal has appeared twice in the premiere season. That is Roxy Tundra, technically on the newest medium tyre, fighting for a spot on the podium ahead of Macho Gatto. If they fall back, actually, hang on, how many points? They have 33 currently. Kornigzargs will have 27 in total. This is just me doing quick math right now. What I'm going to do is, once the race is done, I'm going to collect all the points, see where all the drivers are at, and from there, give you the data, to which will be done instantaneously on the highlights. Reason why I like posting the whole race is just so you can see like the actual progression, because not everything will be commentated because there is so much to commentate on, and obviously I'm not the best commentator, hence why we had pre-testing with Brandon. It was literally just me shouting at a race. Yes, so we've gone for about 20 laps on these newer medium tyres, well, less than 20. I do not know, can they last 40 laps? I mean, they need to last 40 laps to finish the race. But actually, let's have a little look at tyre degradation from race leader Willow Wolf, 58%. That's probably not going to last the whole race. And if you're thinking that the tyre degradation rate is linear, I do not think it is linear. So now the Ferraris have 30 points. If they were to lose another position, they would be on 28, which would still put them ahead of the Kornigzargs for now. Unless one of the Kornigzargs manages to steal fastest lap. But I mean, for Willow, Whisper even, actually either of them, that seems like a massive throwaway of points. One thing that you do not want a driver doing is not perceiving the ending of the race properly. Up the inside of the chicane, or exit of the chicane, goes Angel Frost up into P4. You do not want the drivers perceiving the race wrong, because, I mean, right now, yes, pitting for soft tyres doesn't seem like a bad idea. It's going to land you out of the points completely, but you should be able to completely blitz the medium tyre group. But if you're going to do that, do it about now. You do not want to do it much later. Actually, yeah, you might want to time it, because now seems a little bit too early, but much later seems a little bit too late. And Michael Shoesnacker might be losing his grasp on P2 currently. That's not really what you want. And there's slipstream boosting as well. Oh, that's not looking good for Willow Wolf. Like when I said earlier, I was surprised to see Willow Wolf in P1. I want the Kornigzargs to win, but they probably will not. You know, that's my personal opinion. Does look like Willow Wolf is losing a little bit of pace there. And Tundra, for some reason we're looking at the battle at the very back of the pack. Tundra manages to take P2 and manages to hold on to it as well. The original top 3 are currently in the top 4. If that makes any sense to anyone listening. Wow, absolutely incredible. But will Tundra be able to have the pace to hunt down and eventually overtake Willow Wolf? Absolutely no idea, because they're all roughly on the same pace, tyre as well, sort of similar. I mean, Tundra has a slight advantage for being, or like pitting later, but will the advantage actually pay off? Shoe Snacker manages to try and take the position back outside of the chicane, inside of the hairpin that's coming up next, and holds onto the position. This might be constructive interference. It's difficult to say. Here's Kitty Softballs fighting for points against Max Verstappen. What in the world happened? Jake Villeneuve is in P6. Whisper Wolf is holding on to the points, and is sort of ahead of that pack, but has a huge gap to Sebastian Vettel. Yes, so I mentioned earlier, slipstream boosting. What is that? That is when two or more drivers use slipstream and DRS, obviously on all of the straights that allow that, and constructively interfere with each other. What that means is that they are actually going together faster than the driver that they're trying to catch up to. That is slipstream boosting or constructive interference. Conversely, destructive interference is when two drivers are actively sparring against each other for a better position, not for group gain. And when they're sparring just for their own gain, it's usually constructive or deconstructive interference, which doesn't pan out that well. Hard tyre drivers, all three of them are in last place. They have not pitted. They really should have pitted, is what I'm trying to say. They probably should have pitted much earlier. They can finish a race on hard tyre. I think that there was one time a driver managed to finish the race on hard tyres from the start and actually beat me, I think. That sounds absolutely incredible. I've got no idea how. Angel Frost, P2. Roxy Tundra, P4. They literally just swapped positions, unless I'm going crazy, and had their positions earlier wrong. Both of the Ferraris, 15, 12, 10, 25 points. Not going to match up to Willow's points, so Klornigzag currently have the constructors race lead. I'm going to have to do more complicated maths further on into the season when we involve more points or past points that they already have. Jake Villeneuve ahead of Macho Gato into P5. The driver who started last is looking at about P7 currently, although he's in P5 right now. P7 because of the 5-second time penalty. You cannot undo that, unfortunately. There is no way to appeal that. Max Verstappen against Whisper Wolf for the final point. This will take it won't. Oh, actually, hang on. It will put Pedro Rojo into double point status and take Klornigzag out of double point status. But that doesn't really matter right now. Klornigzag still have the all-powerful constructors lead. That makes any sense. That does not make any sense whatsoever. Up the inside, Tundra into P3. Will Tundra be able to hold on to the lead? I do not think so, especially with the upcoming corners. Michael Shoesnacker is really fighting against these drivers. I think that the Ferraris pitted for medium tyres earlier. Probably not their downfall, but by the looks of things, pitting later seems like the way to go, which is surprising because I thought it was not. By the way, all of the pre-testing races, they did not actually count whatsoever to this. It's just so we can see like how well it goes. Shoestacker manages to fight back and hold on to P3, the last position in the podium. That was a 10-second gap between Willow and second place, or roughly 10-second gap. It has now come down to, it says 3. I don't think it's timing time. I think it's actually counting distance, which, because like, you know, at the chicane, at the hairpins, when the drivers are by distance closer together, assuming that they're travelling at the same pace, they should not, well, the time between them should remain roughly constant if they're travelling at the same pace. But as you can see, the time goes all over the place, so, you know, that's one thing that I really hope they fix. Macho Gato falling so far back is unfathomable, actually. Currently, Jake Villeneuve might actually end up in 6th because of that 5-second time penalty at the very start, which we didn't see. Yes, all races will be 100% race, maybe apart from Montreal, okay? And there's a huge build up to Montreal. When does the first Montreal race actually happen? Just want to check that out real quick. Okay, about that stupid notification. Every single time I get notifications, I keep thinking that Brandon's messaging or something like that, saying, "Yeah, I can play now." Yay! I'm trying to remember a song that about like someone who hasn't seen someone else for ages. I don't care. Anyway, by the looks of things, Shoesnacker is constructively deconstructively interfering against Tundra and Villeneuve, thus pushing the two back and increasing the gap between them and Frost. But Tundra tried the inside line on that chicane. Shoesnacker still has the inside line into the hairpin. No idea who got DRS in the DRS activation zone, which is a thing in this game. I know, pretty advanced for what it is. Who has it? I can't see. Tundra looks like it. Yeah, Tundra has it, and Tundra is going to soar ahead and will probably even catch up to Frost. What Willow wants right now to maintain the position. Oh my goodness, Jake Villeneuve is in the battle as well. What Willow wants, as I was saying, is rain. You want rain, such that everyone has to go on intermediates, and the positions are pretty much set unless someone crashes or unless two drivers are abnormally close together and end up having a giant sparring session and crash. Anyway, what race is next actually? Up next is Melbourne, Australia, or St Albert Park, or whatever you want to call it. So many names for tracks nowadays. Frost is able to keep the position steady. Wait, hey, was that rain? That is rain. I think it is actually, yes, that's got to be rain. It looks like it is actually raining out on track. Yes, and the last 4 drivers are on intermediate tyres. I should not have said anything. The positions now appear to be completely stuck. I don't know if the top 3 will change positions, just because when everyone rushes into the pits, there's going to be an awful lot of traffic, which might slow a couple of drivers down. The position of like where all the drivers are in garage, sort of random, I guess. You can call it pseudo-random. I don't really care. It's not there. See, traffic, and Jake Villeneuve is up into P2. Jake Villeneuve might actually be the first driver to win in Formula 4 and the first driver to go from last all the way to first. I mean, seems plausible, but when we pre-tested this race, I think that the driver in last place couldn't even get close into the points or something like that. That could have been just because they crashed and had a lot of bad luck. This is certainly not the case for Jake Villeneuve. Angel Frost manages to fight back, but that doesn't seem to last for long. What you really want out here is grip and not really speed, but I don't think grip for the AI is much of a problem. This is why in the wings setup I sort of neglected grip as a contributing factor. Why did I click that button? We want to see this race between Angel Frost and Jake Villeneuve. Anyway, back to the Montreal stuff. Angel Frost will have the inside line into the final 2 corners. There's no such thing as DRS in this phase. Tyre temperature, you see that flashing light next to the giant number 6. That indicates that the tyres are not up to temperature, but they are driving much faster than I ever could when the tyres are below temperature. So, there we are. Race number 14 is the first Montreal race, and race number 18 is the second Montreal race. I just wanted to say that because I think that the Montreal races are the best race. And I mean, yeah, you could say, oh, some of the other tracks are quite cool as well, just because of all their features, all of the corners as well. But Montreal has one corner that is just perfect. That is all there is really to say about it. Angel Frost having a huge battle. The interference is difficult to say the least. I've got no idea if they're helping each other or defecting against each other. By the looks of things, they are sort of defecting against each other, but I mean they could be helping each other. You never know. It is the rain, and we haven't had a rainy part of the race, well, actually ever in Formula Poor. On the inside tries Jake Villeneuve. Jake Villeneuve might be able to hold on to the position. I'm just thinking of the next corner. Frost has the advantage, but won't last forever. I mean, despite Frost being in P3, Frost will take P2 because of the 5-second time penalty. I mean, Willow could even end up in P2 with Villeneuve in P1. As long as Willow is within 5 seconds, Willow will have won the race. I don't need this on anymore, so I can turn it off because it is very bright. Okay, and we're still watching this race, or this part of the race. It looks like, honestly, the positions are stuck. Macho Gatto. Horrible turnout for Macho Gatto. That's just because of all the traffic. Macho Gatto has to pit, like quite close to the entrance of the pit lane, and gets held up an awful lot. Koenigseggs are still both in the points. Phoebe Fittipaldi is in the points as well, meaning that Roxy Tundra and Phoebe Fittipaldi combined give Wifton Martin double points as well. Unfortunately, Pedro Rojo, as a result of the rain, are out of double points, but will still receive 1 point because of Max Verstappen, unless somehow the drivers pull out something absolutely spectacular and do incredible laps around here on the final lap to get fastest lap from Max Verstappen. And I mean, rarely does it end in crashes, but I will tell you this: there was one time I was racing. I was actually racing in where was it? It was Monaco, and I mean I was in the lead. I had fastest lap. Yeah, it is fastest lap. Fastest lap in Monaco for me was below 1 minute. You can get it below 1 minute in Monaco, because obviously these are not the best representations of the maps. Who cares? I mean, obviously people who like a lot of detail care. I am not one of them people. Jake Villeneuve closing in to Willow Wolf. The two may actually end up constructively or deconstructively interfering, which might bring Frost into this. If Frost is ahead of Willow, Frost will be in P1. But the question is, will Villeneuve be able to go up to Willow? Will Villeneuve take Frost with him? Or will Villeneuve slow down Willow such that Frost shows up? Who knows? Anyway, yeah, so I was in Monaco, and what happened? I had fastest lap, which was below 1 minute, or it might have been 1 minute plus a couple milliseconds, which is unfortunate. I thought I was going to get maximum points, 26 points. Some Ferrari dude comes along and manages to go below 1 minute, and I just think, how is that possible, given that their racing pace was completely dreadful? It just means that they can turn this around on a dime, but I do remember that it was a dry track, so I will be very surprised if they can turn around fastest lap on a wet track after it was set on the dry track. Whisper Wolf still currently in the points. I need to do an awful lot of arithmetic to get this right. I will also have to do an awful lot of arithmetic later on into the season. It looks like Villeneuve has completely lost the trail of Frost. Now it's just a battle between Villeneuve and Willow. Even if Villeneuve manages to get up into P1, the 5-second time penalty would have prevented Villeneuve from winning, unfortunately. But that is just a momentous achievement. Villeneuve will end up in P4 by the looks of things. Definitely not P5 by the way it's going. Might actually end up in P3, assuming that Tundra does not pick up the pace drastically. Even though, like, it can still change on a dime, I think. For Willow, it definitely went Willow's way. The weather helped Willow. I cannot induce weather, by the way. The only thing I can do to weather is in the settings, adjust it, which I do not want to. I can make it always wet, or I can make it always dry, and I can make it random. It is currently set to random, as it should be. The only time it won't be random is in Bahrain, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, Jeddah as well. Saudi Arabia is what that means. Maybe Montreal? I don't know. Australia? Has it rained in Australia? Well. Anyway, that was Fittipaldi closing in on Purton Senna. And obviously the AI camera tracker has nothing better to do but to close or move over to somewhere else. I keep thinking that Bandicam is recording my mouse. I don't think it is, which is why my mouse is not actually on the scoring pylon. I'm letting the AI take control and choose what to race here, even though I think that the AI is absolutely useless. But you know, it might actually bring up something that I completely missed. So it's always just good to have it there rather than it always being on one driver. It's good to get a nice view of all of the drivers in the race. This wasn't actually what I wanted to do when I started my YouTube channel. When I started my YouTube channel, I wanted to make small videos here and there, which I did. And then this was not the first goal. I wanted to do something else. But this showed up, and I thought, yeah, might as well see where it goes. And if it goes good places, I might actually be able to do what I set out to do on this channel, which I want to keep completely hidden for now. Whisper Wolf appears to be set in her position, and Klonigzag will be within double points, assuming that the weather doesn't change or anything like that. Even if it does, I do think Klonigzag might come out okay. Willow Wolf certainly will. I mean, their position in the pit lane does sort of help. Drivers towards the end of the pit lane might have some sort of advantage, but that's just because all of the drivers are so close together. If you're at the front of the pit lane, you sort of want the drivers to be quite separate. Anyway, Roxy Tundra looking ever so close into that danger zone. Tundra needs to pick up the pace if Tundra wants to be on the podium, because Tundra doesn't need to overtake anyone to get on the podium. Tundra just needs to be within 5 seconds of Jake Villeneuve, and as of now, it does not look like it's going to be 5 seconds. Well, I mean, oh no, hang on, that's above 5 seconds. Tundra, I think, will probably be off the podium, and the driver who started last will be on the podium. Let that sink in, because he's knocking on your door. That's a stupid dad joke, but who cares? They're funny. Phoebe Fittipaldi against Purton Senna. Purton Senna has been able to hold his ground for ages. The drivers do have genders, which I haven't really been using because, you know, it's 2024. There's a whole lot of gender stuff going on. I was about to say rubbish. Do with that as you will, because I mean, so much is going on. People try to educate, but the people educating are not really the best at it, and it just gets so confusing that I struggle to understand it. So I mean, I just choose to live my life and avoid all of that stuff. You can do whatever you want, you can be whatever you want, etc, etc, etc. Right, I'm not trying to be some sort of what? Why is Willow heading into the pits? Is it drying up? It is drying up. Okay. Which does mean fastest lap could go to anyone. Klonigzag's biggest concern, I think, will be Whisper, which I'll probably turn onto right now. And actually, another concern for Koenigsegg will be where Villeneuve comes out. They are incredibly close, but Willow still needs to be within 5 seconds of Villeneuve. And by the looks of things, the top 4, top 5 sort of stay as they are. About Whisper. Whisper gained a couple positions there. Sort of what I wanted to see what was going on for Koenigsegg right there. Koenigsegg in a really good position. As of now, Villeneuve has secured 3rd place, but is looking to secure 2nd, and sort of looks like Villeneuve did there for a second. Rain is a weird one when you're driving, because you sort of don't really notice it instantly, and then when it ends, it's almost impossible to notice, because it was clearly raining. There was spray everywhere, but Willow went into the pits, and suddenly it was not raining on the other end. That's because the AI just knows. That is not Lewis Ham, that is Jake Villeneuve. Another thing AI is not the best at. I mean, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of AI, if that's clear. I mean, I don't really want to use it for convenience, because that's just laziness. I want to use it to, I don't know, see what I can get out of it. Because it is a little bit funny watching AI try to act human, but fail tragically at it. Doesn't matter. I also watched some videos recently on people who try to use AI for, to imitate themselves. Why can't they just be themselves? Anyway, I digress. It's still just on Jake Villeneuve. I don't know why it's not changing. I think it's because Jake Villeneuve is incredibly fast right now. I have no idea how this automatic camera thing works, but I mean, I'm looking at the maps and the times just to see if any driver looks like they're going to be making an overtake. But I think if any driver is going to be taking fastest lap, it will be Villeneuve. Lap 61, I think, was when they came out onto softs, so that was the out lap. This has to be the flying lap. But I would be a little bit surprised if they take it now. You sort of want to take it in the last lap, and you do sort of have an advantage if you're... Well, it's not really an advantage, actually, now that you mention it. But I'd say now that you mention it, I'm not really talking to anyone. Like, fastest laps fall lap after lap. It is unreal. And usually someone towards the back end of the pack ends up taking fastest lap. Willow Wolf has the fastest first sector. Jake Villeneuve is not able to respond. Usually it's a driver at the back of the pack that ends up winning fastest lap, because fastest lap fell at the front end of the pack and continues to fall. I don't know why it continues to fall though. It just doesn't make much sense. Well, obviously drivers are travelling faster. Willow Wolf fastest in second sector. Villeneuve also not able to fight against that. It all must be done in the third sector though, because I mean the third sector doesn't have that many corners. Willow Wolf has fastest first and second sectors, meaning that Willow Wolf will probably take fastest lap after crossing the line. And actually, I'm going to cut over to Willow Wolf. The winner of the first ever Formula Paw, Willow Wolf, crosses the finish line, setting fastest lap. Jake Villeneuve steals it. It must have all been in the final sector, because there is no other way it could have been done. Jake Villeneuve, Macho Gatto manages to steal. Oh no, wait a minute, no, that's fastest second sector, idiot. Oh my goodness, what a race! And actually, that looks within 5 seconds. Jake Villeneuve maintains second place, starting last. An incredible performance. Willow Wolf wins in Emily Romagna. Oh my goodness. Oh, crash, what the hell? Oh my goodness. We had a yellow flag in the third sector, and then that was it. No idea what happened there. And what a way to end the race, I think. Yeah, this is nothing. That's total time, best lap, fastest lap, who cares about all of that stuff. That's just because I was Jake Villeneuve before I handed him over to AI. Willow Wolf is the winner of the Emily Romagnan Grand Prix and the first winner of Formula Paw. Jake Villeneuve is in second place, starting last. An incredible performance, and that is Angel Frost over there, who's stuck around in third position but managed to get ahead of Tundra and stay there. Let's skip this music. Right, okay, now I'm just going to acquire the data, which might take a bit. How did I set this up? I am confusing myself here. Oh, right, okay, pole position point goes to Willow Wolf. Fastest lap point goes to, it's not saying, meaning I'm going to have to watch the footage back. Shoot. Is it Shoes? It must have been Gatto, I think. But I will need to check that. Macho Gatto, where are you? You're there. Okay. Race 1 points. We're going to go in the order I wrote them down. Lewis Ham, 2. Shoe Snacker, none. Who's that? Sebastian Vet, also none. And now it's switching keyboard. I'm doing all this on my phone, by the way. Actually, what I might do is I might just cut the video here and then refine it later. Or actually, I can pause it, can't I? Yeah. Okay. I think we're back. So, anyway, all things considered, Klornigzarg are in the lead with currently 30 points. Tailwind Racing are in second place with 18. Also joint second place, 18 points as well. Wifton Martin. Renhout are in fourth place with 15. Tailwind Racing Paw are in fifth place with 10. Sixth place is Lotus with 9. Mercedes Portronas in seventh with 8. With 2 even. And Ferrari are in 8th with 1 point, assuming that Gatto has fastest lap. Obviously, I will document all of that stuff. Teams with no points are Pero Rojo, Bar Claren, and Wifton Martin. I mean, I was sort of Wolf Williams even. I was sort of expecting Wolf Williams not to get any points because stupid voice. Because nope, that's wrong data. There we are. Nigel Barksall and Nelson Pupkett have skill levels of 6 and 9 respectively. So they're actually using with their teams. Wolf Williams have a combined skill level of 15, which is the lowest. 17 is actually the second lowest skill team, which is Tailwind Racing. No, wait a minute. 16 is the second lowest, which is Bar Claren. Anyway, enough about all of these statistics. If you have any more questions about the positions of all of the drivers or any other stats that you want to know, please do let me know in the comments. Next race, which will come out hopefully pretty quickly, Melbourne. Melbourne, Australia, St Albert Park. There's many other names for it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell as well so you will not miss out on that. Thanks for watching.